everyone doing? Okay, let's get started with the DXY. So first of all, again, we forecasted a fake out of the pattern. It has now closed back inside and we're expecting a further decline towards minimum this level of liquidity and furthermore the outer structure of the pattern. Obviously before this could even manifest, we should be expecting some stop hunts before liquidity can push price down. So let's zoom into the smaller time frames. What can we actually see? If we go to the 4-hour time frame now, we can see that price has developed into an expanding pattern, which is perfect since we can see some equal highs. So many traders right now would be expecting to sell this double top. However, I'm expecting a stop hunt of not only the double top, but also a stop hunt of this level here to tap this level of liquidity as plan A. But furthermore, I'm also expecting a stop hunt of the stop hunt to take these guys out to either one of these two levels and then the main decline to new lows to minimum the start of this structure and furthermore to a 1 hour bank level down there as a take profit 1. Again, you need to forecast multiple scenarios, so take profit 1 will be structure, take profit 2, take profit 3 eventually would be the outer structure. For this pattern to be invalidated, we need strong momentum to the upside and a retest continuation, but for now I am really liking the way price is currently forming. On the 1 hour time frame on DXY, let me just tie this up for you guys. It's a little bit too messy. I really do like the scoop of this pattern. So normally after a scoop, there is a high probability of a stop hunt. So we still need to forecast multiple positions. So for now, DXY, we need to remain really patient. I'm watching out very closely for this high. The reason I'm interested in this high is because we need retail to get stopped out. This is why, since I've got some levels of liquidity, this is perfect as it will be in confluence of a stop hunt of this level here. So again, plan A would be a strong rejection from this level, but most likely what will happen would be a rejection of the level and then a stop hunt of this stop hunt and then a continuation. So that's the game plan for DXY. Just have to remain really patient. Let's walk through the next list, which is Euro USD. So Euro USD again is the same as DXY, but just on the opposite side. So again, what is happening with DXY? Euro USD. Let's just zoom out on the daily time frame to see what's actually happening. So okay, we currently have a boomerang in play, which is a third tap of structure. 1 tap, 2 tap, and a third tap. Touch liquidity, price has closed back inside the pattern and is retested to potentially continue long. So this is exactly what's happening here. It's just accumulating more because the breakout's going to be incredibly massive. So for now, if we go to the 4 hour time frame, what can we see? We can see that price is currently forming a bullish pennant. So I'm expecting now a reversal from this level to go long as a probability. However, a higher probability trade would be a tap of liquidity, trap people on the wrong side, not only the double bottom traders, but also the sell traders that are selling the break of the double bottom. And also, to take it one step further, the traders that are taking the stop home entry, which is my plan A, there's a big chance of them getting stopped out to only retest the really low extreme of this level, which will be in confluence with 1, 2, and a third tap of structure. But before I enter at the third tap, I need some form of compression. So if I see my compression, then I'll be looking to get involved for the long position. Again, compression is something that you can see on the smaller time frames, such as the 1 hour. As you can see here, there's compression, break up to the upside, compression, break up to the upside, compression, break up to the downside. There's compression here, break up to the upside. It happens over and over again. Compression here, break up to the downside, compression moving upwards, let's break out to the downside. You know, it's very rare for this to happen. For example, there's compression here. As you can see, there's a lovely compression, but it broke out to the downside. Why is that? You know, this rarely happens, but where is the compression? It's in the middle of no man's land. If, however, this particular compression was in fact at a high probability area with some levels of confluences, such as down here, then there's a high chance of that getting, you know, that trade being valid, or vice versa here. You know, so you need to find compression in the right areas. Same where if you're going to be trading a Fibonacci setup or a moving average setup or a bank level, anything you're trading, it needs to have some form of a relevance of where it is on the actual market. So that's the game plan for Euro USD. I'm just waiting for my specific fractals and schematics on either plan A or plan B. So specifically, I'm waiting for either some compression, then I'll be looking to get involved, or my favorite setup, which would be equal lows and then a stop hump, then followed by another stop hump. So if I see this particular schematic on either plan A or plan B, obviously it's going to look a lot smaller than that, then I'll be looking to get involved. Right now it's tick this box. We've got equal lows, one low here and a second low here. Hence why right now it's going to be a magnet to take out the double bottom traders. And I do have some levels of liquidity that is yet to be filled. So that's the game plan for Euro USD. I also have this in play. If price now starts to rally, as you can see here, let me just do this again. As you can see here to the right, I've got my alert. This alert is just to alert me where price could actually reverse from. So we've got some equal highs. This level here, stop hunt, would be enough fuel, liquidity to bring price down to the main level of interest. So I'm really interested in a short position, and I'm also interested in mainly in the long position where it's most likely to be ready late Thursday, early Friday. But in terms of a mid-week entry, if price can start to rally a little bit north, let me just set my order just so I don't miss it, then a short-term sell would be a pretty good trade. So that's the game plan for Euro USD. Again, there's a lot of room to the upside and there's a large bullish pennant. Big trade coming on Euro USD for the long and a short-term trade for a short. So just have to remain really patient and vigilant right now. Next on the list is Euro Pound. Okay, Euro Pound, similar schematic to the daily. If we go to the daily time frame, we've got the equal lows. We've got a stop hunt, as you can see. So okay, we've got some equal lows, equal lows, equal lows, equal lows. Then we've got a stop hunt of this level. As you can see, it actually did reject from it, and now it's formed some compression, filled some levels of liquidity, and it closed back inside. Now it's accumulating, so there's a lot going on. If we take it one step further and we see what is actually happening, again, the long-term target for Euro Pound is this particular swing low, which was the main move that took out the equal low. So this is the long-term trade. There's a lot of upside move on this particular market. If I just, you know, it still has, you know, a ton of pips to go for Euro Pound. But in terms of getting an entry, let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, I'm gonna update my pattern. You know, this is irrelevant now. So now I'm focused on this piece of information. You know, a lot can happen in this piece of information. Again, if I don't update my patterns, then I'm limited to what could actually happen. So, okay, if I keep this trend line, then all I can see is a break and retest, right? But if my pattern is updated, this trend has been broken, and now this, you know, something new can form. Well, there's nothing here at the moment. I just need to wait. So for now, since price has taken out these equal lows, it's filled liquidity, It's then tapped the liquidity and it's rallied with momentum. We can go to the 1 hour time frame. Over here, I've got my level of interest. So now I'm focused on what is actually happening down here. It's going to take a while. So whatever happens, I'm just going to be patient until I see my schematics of either some compression or some equal lows. If I get some equal lows, then I can look to get involved on an entry. So for now, euro pound, I just need to remain patient. So that's the game plan for euro pound. Next on the list is pound yen. So pound yen, there's more commitment from the sellers. If we go to the 4 hour time frame, this is a student I had earlier. Let me just take this off, take this off, take this off, take this off, and see what is actually happening. Take this off and this. I'm sure I had more examples. Okay, let's zoom to the daily time frame. What is actually happening? We can see that price has broken above the large pattern. It's formed some compression and it's broken down with momentum. There is actually a ton of move to the downside. Notice how I'm not, paying any attention to any support or resistance that you can find on a smaller time frame. So right now, this would be a magnet to price, the lower structure of the pattern. But again, I'm not looking to hold a trade long term. I'm more focused on what is actually happening here. So let's go to the 4 hour time frame. Okay, we've got some compression. It's made new lows. Now, in terms of getting an entry, I need some form of a pullback. So it's making new lows. There's commitment from the sellers. I'm waiting for my schematic. I've got some equal highs. So I'll be expecting either another rejection from here and then a stop hunt. Look to the left for some levels of liquidity and then look to get involved. We can actually see one here on the 1 hour time frame. So either a stop hunt of this level here, but really what I'll be interested in is, okay, this will be the first confluence once that gets triggered. Once there's a stop hunt of the double top on a smaller time frame, as you can see here, once I get a stop hunt, then I'll look for a stop hunt of the first stop hunt. Then I'll be looking to get involved on a smaller time frame. If this plan fails, then I'll be doing the same thing but on this equal high scenario. So that's the game plan for pound yen. Also, if you look what's actually happening, there is actually a bit of a head and shoulder here. So there's going to be many stop losses just above the right shoulder. This is why I'm interested in getting involved on an entry above the right shoulder. So the game plan for pound yen is looking really interesting. Price action is looking clear. There's momentum, there's commitment from the sellers. In terms of a take profit, we can go back to the start of the original pattern, which is down here. So normally after a rally to the upside or some form of a compression or some channel, once price breaks down, the 90% rule states that there's a 90% chance of price coming back down to the original start of the pattern. So okay, that could be the original start of the pattern, but again, I'll be looking for a stop hunt of this original pattern, which should be somewhere down here. Or to take it one step further, just to be extra safe within this level of interest. As you can see, there's a nice gap here. So this could be a good take profit once I get involved on a trade. So regardless of wherever I'm going to enter, I'm not going to show you exactly where the stop loss is, but let's just say we have a stop loss here. We can still capitalize on a pretty decent move, but we just need to be very, very patient with pound yen. It's something to take into consideration. Also, we could add potentially a parallel channel, and this would be ideal because if price does approach a potential third tap, what does that mean? Every single trader will be trading the third tap, but I'll be looking for a stop hunt and a close back inside. But again, I need some form of a confluence. So if we can have some form of a channel or a wedge pattern just outside of the channel, then it could be a pretty interesting trade. And this is what I call the boomerang, which is a fake out of a pattern. So that's the game plan for pound yen. And that's it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's live stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.